The story of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small village called Mvezo in South Africa. Though he came from a family of royalty, his life would become the extraordinary journey of a man who transformed the history of an entire nation. Nelson's father passed away when he was just 9 years old. After his father's death, he moved to Witwatersrand, where he began his formal education at Fort Hare University. In the 1940s, South Africa was ruled by an apartheid system that was designed to keep Black South Africans and white South Africans apart. Under apartheid, Black people were denied basic rights. They couldn't vote, they were forced to live in separate areas, and they were treated like second-class citizens. Mandela went to Johannesburg to study law, where he began to get involved in the fight against apartheid. He joined the African National Congress, ANC, a political party that was dedicated to fighting for equal rights for Black people in South Africa. At that time, Mandela began to use his law degree to help people who had been arrested and mistreated because of their race. He wanted to find a way to end the injustices in his country. In 1944, Mandela and his friend Walter Sisulu helped form the African National Congress Youth League. They wanted to teach young South Africans about their rights and encourage them to take a stand against apartheid. This was just the beginning of Mandela's life as a freedom fighter. In 1961, after many years of peaceful protest, Mandela decided that a new strategy was needed. He helped form an armed wing of the ANC. This group carried out acts of sabotage against government buildings and other symbols of apartheid. It was during this time that Mandela was arrested for the first time and later sentenced to life in prison. Mandela was sent to Robben Island, a small, isolated prison off the coast of Cape Town, where he would spend 27 years of his life under very hard conditions. During his time in prison, Mandela became a symbol of resistance, not just in South Africa, but around the world. Many countries and organizations began to call for his release, and international pressure grew on the South African government. People across the globe were inspired by Mandela's courage and commitment to justice. In 1990, after years of protests and pressure, the South African government finally agreed to release Nelson Mandela from prison. At the age of 71, Mandela was a free man. He immediately became a leader in the fight to end apartheid once and for all. In 1994, after many years of struggle, the apartheid system came to an end. South Africa held its first democratic elections, and for the first time in history, Black South Africans were able to vote. Mandela ran for president as a member of the African National Congress, and he won in a landslide. Nelson Mandela became the first Black president of South Africa. Mandela served as president for one term, from 1994 to 1999, and during that time, he became an international symbol of peace, justice, and forgiveness. His legacy lives on in the values he championed. His famous words, "I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying," remind us that even in our mistakes and struggles, we can find the strength to keep going and to fight for what is right. On December 5, 2013, Nelson Mandela passed away at the age of 95. Now I have some questions for you. Who inspires you the most? What qualities do you think define a great leader? What motivates you to keep pursuing your goals? What gives you hope for the future? Debate question of the day. Do bullies make more effective leaders? Why or why not? Leave your comment below and subscribe for more content to improve your English.